Episode 1 of Something Very Bad Is Going to Happen starts with Rachel on her wedding day. She anxiously walks down the aisle, and when she reaches the altar, her fiance, Nicky, is waiting. As he lifts her veil, she recalls all the tense moments that have led them to this point. The fights, intimacy, and everything else. As Nicky puts the ring on her finger, the scene shifts to a dog walking through a bloody hallway as screams rent the air. We then circle back to 5 days before the wedding. We reunite with the couple as they drive to Nicky's family home. Rachel falls asleep at the wheel and they nearly get into an accident. To stay awake, Rachel asks Nicky to talk to her. He tells her about a crime podcast on Larry Poole, a serial killer from the 90s who used to own a frozen custard shop called the Coldies. Later, Nicky takes over the wheel and they turn on the podcast. They then stop at a gas station for food, where Rachel overhears a couple arguing about missing dogs. Nicky brings up the possibility of having babies, and Rachel replies she doesn't want kids. She's afraid that their kids will be tormented and she doesn't want that. She also feels that having kids is selfish, and she brings up her dead mum and they joke about his overbearing parents. Nicky is surprised when she draws the Coldies logo without ever being there. They get back on the road, and as dusk falls, they stop at a secluded rest stop. Rachel notices a baby locked in a parked car by himself. She rushes into the restrooms to check for the baby's parents, but she doesn't find anything other than a rotting dog on a broken toilet. Now Rachel goes back and asks Nicky to stay with the kid and try to break a window, while she drives back to the nearest gas station to find phone service and help. This is how she comes to find herself at the Swan Dive bar. The place looks secluded with only one server at the reception. Rachel explains the situation with the kid and asks her to call for help. As she waits, she heads to the restrooms to pee. Rachel is startled to see an elderly man observing her in the bathroom. She hurriedly leaves, but he follows her back to the bar, where she reflexively uses her car keys to stab him in his hand. Eerily, he pulls the car keys out of his hand and passes them back. He then asks, "Are you sure he's the one?" The female server appears and informs her that the police are on their way. Rachel heads back to her car and spots a truck with "just married" signage. She also notices the old man watching her as she drives off. Now Rachel drives back to where she left Nicky, but doesn't see him or the car with the baby. Suddenly he pops up with a bruised face and reports that the baby's family came back. They thought he was stealing the child and hit him before he could explain what he was doing. Instead of waiting for the cops, they drove off, and Rachel notices the truck is still parked at the bar as they pass it. They finally make it to Nicky's place and start settling in. Rachel offers to grab some ice for his face while he unloads their stuff from the car. She heads to the kitchen and finds Nicky's brother Jules and his wife Nell. She also meets Portia, Nicky's sister. Portia warmly welcomes her, but also accuses Rachel of trying to avoid them since they have never met before. On the other hand, Nell just tries to be normal while Jules quietly continues eating his meal. They all become intrigued when Rachel explains what happened to Nicky's face. Portia suggests that maybe what happened was the sorry man's fault. The others take this as a sign to leave, but Portia insists on Rachel staying. She tells Rachel the story of the sorry man, who apparently Jules met in the woods when he was 8. According to her, Jules ran away from home and accidentally walked in on a man cutting a woman open. The story goes that the man kept apologising as he killed the woman, and he was hoping to be reunited with the ghost of his late wife. As the story reaches its climax, Portia spots Jules' son, Judy, eavesdropping. She manages to scare Rachel by pretending there is someone behind her. Portia introduces him to Rachel and assures him that the sorry man only kills brides. Back in their bedroom, Nicky apologises to Rachel for Portia's horror story. Although he doesn't believe the story of the sorry man, he does believe something happened to Jules back then. Rachel tells him about the creepy guy from the bar and admits she has been feeling dread and a sense of deja vu. Nicky says he has also been feeling off lately as well. She asks why Portia knows she is afraid of flying, and Nicky explains that he told his family about how he met Rachel. She insists on doing the thing before they have sex. In the middle of the night, Rachel wakes up and finds herself with a nosebleed. She hears an odd sound and leaves the room to check it out. This is when she notices the main door is open, and for a while she goes outside to watch the snow. Rachel comes back and finds Victoria, Nicky's mum, standing alone in one of the rooms. She looks dazed and only responds after Rachel gets close and waves her hands at her face. Victoria quickly grabs her hand and calls her the next Cunningham. Suddenly her husband Boris opens the door of their bedroom and apologises to Rachel. He gets Victoria and starts directing her toward their bedroom. She turns to Rachel and says they won't be seeing much of each other. Obviously Rachel finds this odd, but ignores it all the same. On the floor she finds a letter addressed to her. She opens it up and finds a wedding invite inside. Written behind the card is a note warning her not to marry Nicky. Now the cinematographers in this series knew the exact mood setter they were going for with this one and set the bar high right from the start. The strategic movement of the camera, the music, the lighting and the cinematography all work together beautifully to create this sense of impending dread that Rachel experiences. That, in turn, means that us, the audience, senses paranoia with each passing scene. The additional touch of some red herrings, like the Barbie doll she finds in the abandoned restroom, the dead dogs seen in the different scenes, and the just married truck, give the story more depth and heightens that feeling of dread and danger. The top tier acting also helps us get invested in the show too. Camilla Moron's facial and micro expressions perfectly convey the quiet isolation she feels. She's in a new place and knows no one apart from Nicky, making it easy to empathise with her. Yet she still feels this unexplainable psychic connection to the place, which I'm sure will be explored in the episodes ahead. For now though, this is a solid opening chapter, and if the rest of the show keeps up this pace, we might have another slow burn psychological horror hit series on our hands. Thanks for watching, and do let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Smash a like or subscribe to the channel, your support is very much appreciated. I'm Greg Wheeler, and from all of us over here at The Review Geek, we'll see you on the next video.